Hi everyone, hope you're well. I've been invited back to New Manor farm shop today, and I'm really excited because Matty's going to show me how to break down an entire lamb carcass. So I've obviously never seen anything like that before, so I think that'll be really interesting. Hopefully you guys will as well. And yeah, let's see how this goes. Here he is.
Welcome to New Manor after hours.
Hello mate, how are you?
I'm alright, buddy. You had a good day?
I have, mate. You?
Yeah, it's been good. Really, really good.
Good.
So we can't complain.
So what are we doing?
Right, I've obviously the counter's out. I've just cleaned the fridge so we can give a quick recap for the fridge. You guys will see it. And we're going to cut you a lamb up. I'm going to display on the block as we cut it, and you guys can see where our lamb cuts come from.
Sweet. Matt assures me that he thinks that he can break an entire lamb carcass in under 3 minutes. So I said challenge on. So we've got a timer ready, and we'll set it shortly.
The challenge is, I said I could probably do a whole lamb in just, well, I'm going to go for 3 minutes. So this I go terribly wrong and I make myself look like an idiot all the way across the web. But we've got my phone set up for a timer. We're going to try and cut and sort of talk as we go through, but this is one of our fantastic champion whole lambs that you can get from us at New Manor, and I'm going to show you guys on the sort of work. Bear in mind I'm going to be going as fast as I can to get this done, obviously doing it right, and you guys get to see what's involved in a whole lamb. So let's get going. We'll start by taking the legs off and we'll go 3, 2, 1. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down, we're going to take the legs off, going to try and find the joint there, which is just behind the rump. We'll take your legs off. As soon as you hear it go, that's when I know when to cut. So we'll come back to the legs in a minute. Then I want to take the fours off, what we call the fours, which is your shoulders of lamb. I count between, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go between the 5 and 6 rib, take that through. Same on the other side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, through the 5th and 6th, take that off. Obviously we keep our knives nice and sharp at all times, so we want the knife to do the work, never forcing the knife through the bone. The saw, obviously we just use the saw to cut the bone. So there's your fours, just come off. Beautiful, beautiful, look at that, fantastic champion lamb there. You won't get any better than that, I assure you. Right, we're going to take the breast of the lamb off. Fantastic cut. You can cut these low and slow. One of my favourite things to do is you actually cook them a bit like how the Chinese do. You can do crispy lamb with these. So you get your breast of lamb, you can have them on the bone, which we can also do for you. But one of our favourite things we like to do is deboning them, and we'll stuff them. So just by whipping our knife through it, normally we'll stuff these come winter time. They're a lot more popular, bone and rolling stuff, perfect for the slow cookers. But as summertime comes, get rid of the bone, you can actually slice them through, put them on the barbecue. But what we'll do is we'll roll that. If you were to stuff it, you normally have a nice bit of pinrail going through the middle when we stuff them up. So come winter time. So there's your breast of lamb. Now we take the fat off through the loin, because obviously that's where part of the windpipe would have been. You've got your 2 inner fillets on that lamb. And what we do is a little bit of prepping to be done. Scoop some of this hard fat out, because obviously fat is good on lamb, but we don't want all that lamb to have too much fat. So just sort of getting rid of the excess fat, trimming them up. And what we do, I'm going to do this one as, I think I'm going to just do a rack and some chops on this one, give you guys a bit of a real treat. Come down through the bone, and then what you can do, you can split the spine on the corner of the block. There you go, come on. Don't think my knife knows that there's a timer going on. So this is where your rack of lamb comes from. So saw down each side of the spinal column, nice and tight. With my knife, we come down the back. One side off, another side off. Take the back bit of the blade out. We just pull that out. We face it off. We won't waste any of the trim because that'll turn into lamb mince, which can then turn into sausage and burgers, or our homemade koftas, which are really popular. You trim the gristle off the back, go across the top, and then what we want to do, what are we looking on time? Oh, I've ruined it. I've not gone past 3 minutes. I've absolutely ruined myself. But breaking a lamb anyway in under 3 minutes. It will show you guys on how much work is involved when we prep our lambs for the shop and get them down to the cuts, and hopefully you guys will have a little bit of an insight on what we do here. So we split the bones. What you want to do when you cook this, you don't want to, when you pop them in the oven to finish them off, you don't want your bones to have like a horrible burning flesh all over them. What you want is, when you clean them off like this, you should get those beautiful clean white bones after you've cooked them from being in the oven. So the same again, keep the trim to one side. So that's one rack of lamb. So you get a rack of lamb out of your lamb. Also, you can turn that one into another rack of lamb. But what I'm going to do, rather than French trimming it like we've done that one, taking that blade back out, I really like these because I like all that beautiful lamb fat on the back there. What you can do is just go straight through the riblets. So where I've removed that backbone, the knife just glides in between the riblets. And look at that beautiful lamb cutlet. I love all this beautiful fat on the back when it crisps up. And you get some nice lamb cutlets there. Do the shoulders. Now what we do here, some butchers will just saw the hock on their shoulders. What we do is we actually remove the sort of the foreshank. We bone them out hanging, attached to the shoulder. So we bone out that little part of shank meat, and we take that straight off because it's a shank. It needs to be slowly cooked. So the meat in there, we take that off and put in for our trim, because we believe that our shoulders, when you buy them from us, you're buying the best part of the shoulder each time. So coming down the top of the rib cage, we come tight in there. We want to keep the neck fillet on our shoulder on one side, which is take that tiny gristle out of there. And then you've got the neck on there, which we'll take off and go into. Oh, warm in here, isn't it? Well, that door's open. And so you've got one shoulder, which has got the neck fillet attached, and on the other side, what we'll do, it's a thick old gristle on that. Get that gristle off again, and neck off, down, scoop them out. Straighten that. We can take the neck fillet off that one, just so people can see where their neck fillet comes from. So basically, that is the ribeye on a lamb. So you only get a little of them, you only get two on a whole animal. So this is why the price on them is so expensive. But fantastic cut, beautiful to be diced up, beautiful from Moroccan lamb. So with your shoulder, cut this one in half. That. Scrape your bone dust off. And you've got some beautiful lamb. A lot of people put off by short saying it's too fatty, but I think that's a perfect ratio of fat to meat. Cook it low and slow. You can even put these on the barbecue if you want. Cook them all day on the barbecue, or even do some smoked lamb. I think pound for pound, shoulder of lamb, better value for money, especially when you've got guests going around. But shoulder, so tasty. So you get your whole shoulder cut one in half. You've got your lamb chops off this one. what we'll do is we'll cut through the sixpence. So that's what we'll call a barnsey chop. I could probably get another chop out of the other one, but cut them round. That's your loin in there, so you got your nice little fillets on the lamb. Fantastic. If you don't want a double one, when you come in, you can always ask your butcher, and we can just split them in half again, and you can have your individual single lamb chops. I think you've got to have it nice and thick. If you're going to have a chop, have a proper chop, and that's cut through on the old what we call sixpence there. So it's starting to take shape now. As you see, there's a little bit of trim that comes off your lamb, and then we'll cut through the hip bone here. What you get a little lamb rump on there, which we would normally do for your lamb steaks. Perfect little joints if you're roasting for 2 people at home. Keep them on the bone for added flavour if you're going to do a roast for 2 at home. A nice little, if you don't want a whole leg, it's quite nice to just say, oh, can I have a lamb rump please, butch? And we can have a debone it or leave it. I like it on the bone because you get a little added extra flavour. Remove some of this fat here. Come down that little tiny inner fillet. Keep it tight to the hip bone, and that is what we call a lamb rump, or we can call it a lamb chump. We just square it off so it's ready for what we call shop spec. Cut them in half. 2 beautiful lamb steaks. Goes beautiful with Moroccan spices, or even just keep it simple with salt, pepper, garlic and rosemary. So 2 nice lamb steaks. Then what I like to do, there's a little hidden secret really. Not many people do them anymore, but rather than having a whole leg for a roast, we can have it as a half leg. If you're barbecuing for a lot of people, what we'll do is we can cut off the shank, because obviously the shank is always best to cook low and slow, so we'll take the shank off. There's a whole leg for a Sunday roast. There's a little one that I like to do. If you've got lots of guests coming around and they think, oh, I don't want to be cooking loads of lamb steaks or loads of lamb chops, come in, ask your butcher to butterfly a leg of lamb for you. We can marinate these for you as well if you wanted to, but by removing the shank, and what we do, we open the leg of lamb right out. You can marinate these overnight, or we can marinate them and put in one of our vacuum packed bags for you. Leave it longer the better, let the marinade soak in, and what we can do is cook it whole on your barbecue. A little tiny nugget of fat in there that we'll take out. And by opening up that out, marinate that, put that on your barbecue, let it cook. You've got all that beautiful fat to get nice and crispy. Low and slow on your barbecue, and when you go to slice that through on your chopping board at home, your guests are going to be talking about that, I guarantee, for months and months and months to come. So you've got butterflied whole leg, perfect for the barbecue. Trim that will go into lamb mince, turn into burgers, koftas. Well, there you go, there's a whole lamb broken down. So you've got your rack of lamb, cutlets, your steak, your chops, whole leg if you want to go for roasting, a butterflied if you want something a bit different on a barbecue, will go a long way for the family. A little lamb rump left on the bone, perfect if it's just 2 of you at home, but for me, go for shoulder, low and slow, full of flavour. I don't think there's anything better than a lovely bit of spring lamb.
Well, if you've made it this far, thank you for a start, for watching. I thought that was really interesting. I wasn't sure which bits to sort of edit out, because it was meant to be a breakdown of an entire lamb, which it was. And thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe. We're going to do some shorter videos of different cuts in the future, but again, thanks to New Manor Farm and Matty for showing us this.